Welcome back to the Stroh Center. 65-49, under 4 to go. Time now for today's First Energy electrifying play. We'll make it plays of the game and give it to Alexis Rogers. Plenty of and ones for her this afternoon.
She has drawn 1, 2, and 3 different defenders at times inside. Just has a knack for it. Again, we've talked about her hands and her ability to keep the ball high, as we just saw in that last possession, especially when she's able to fake to the baseline and come back to the middle and finish over the front of the rim. I mean, I think you and I have talked about it even during the MAC show when we previewed the teams. We were really excited to see her settle in here at Bowling Green, and she has done that. And you're right, just continuing to get better. And I think this was a Bowling Green team that, I don't want to say had question marks, but we knew they had graduated a lot and were uncertain from a point guard position what was going to happen. And between the play of Slagle and running the show and the development of Alexis Rogers inside, this is a team that looks like they are poised to really make a run through the MAC tournament.
You saw the 28 points, a season high by a BG player and a career high for Alexis Rogers. 2 on the shot clock. Havel's got a fire. That's going to be short. And Foudy's going to come down with the basketball. First Energy electrifying play of the game, sponsored by First Energy. Our energy working for you, and a very calm Kurt Miller with a big lead here, 16 points.
Have we ever used that phrase?
No, calm and Kurt Miller don't go together. Nice crossover move by James. Watkins on the drive, and she got fouled by Steffen. You know, you talk to Kurt Miller, and we've done it many, many times, and you almost feel like his team's not good enough and shouldn't be in some of these games, because it doesn't matter what team he's playing. Insert team here, Kurt Miller concerned. Don't know if we're good enough to play with these guys. Don't know how well we are to win the East again this year. It's one after another, and then you look back at them all. Kurt, you're 5-0, and you've won 15 or 18 games this year. So I'm sure if we talk to him again next week, it would be the same thing.
Well, that's going to be a reflection then of a player, the players then, just to not get too, I don't want to say cocky, but just too into the routine of taking a team lightly or thinking that you're better than you are, because the MAC is loaded this year, and it's certainly not a lock for them. I don't mean to say, manifest it into that and make it sound like they are that great, but they are that good today, and if they continue to play this well collectively, then they're going to make some noise in the tournament.
Rogers on the miss. Well, they had a big win the other night against Miami. That was the battle for first place in the East, and really one of the first big tests for Bowling Green on the season. They came away with the win over Miami. A hard-fought win at Miami, beat them 61-58. Bowling Green now has won 8 straight, looking for number 9, which is the high in the season right now. Of course, the high went to Miami. They had the season high.
We just talked a lot about that last week in our game of the week, as we saw Miami that was flying high, and the Red Hawks, as we called them. But yeah, it's Bowling Green is putting on a run of their own, and win streak at 8 right now, and set to be at 9 here in the last 3 minutes if they can hold on to this.
Tasha Watkins, as you saw, fouled out. She's on the bench. Straight on look at a 3 with 2 on the shot clock for Chrissy Steffen. And back comes Tavalyn James, and the Eagles with under 3 to go. James weaves her way to the basket, blocked by Havel. Last touched by Eastern. It'll be BG's basketball. Up next for Bowling Green, they'll hit the road next week and take on Ball State. Eastern Michigan is on the road as well. They'll go to Buffalo after Bowling Green. We will be in Miami next Saturday. It's Havel with a rare 3. Yeah, if you look at the BG bench, they're trying to help the officials out there. It was almost like a salute. The whole bench pointed, and they got the win right there.
All 12 of them must have had the best angle in the gym.
Take a look at the right of your screen. The whole bench just got to kind of stand up, and there it is. A great shot, guys. Yeah. There's the point. You need some help. There you go.
And they got it right on Foudy's leg. How about it?
They were going to point that way whether it hit her or not. You know that. Come on, basketball player. Rogers on Stone, and that's a mismatch right there.
There's just nothing you can do with her one-on-one right now, and does a great job of a little bit of a hip check there, and she is going to send the MAC coaches back to the drawing board when they look at preparing to play Bowling Green, because
James draws the foul on Jasmine Matthews. Rogers with that last basket now at 30. And this is what Tavalyn James does better than anybody in the league.
Yeah, stays aggressive, and Matthews bumped her. And anytime you bump a scorer going to the lane, that's going to result in a foul and 2 free throws.
That's 11 straight from the line for Tavalyn, 28 on the afternoon for the MAC's leading scorer at better than 22 points a game. She lines up another one, that's good. She's 12 for 12 from the line here this afternoon, 29 points for the senior from Detroit, Michigan. Under 2 to go here from the Stroh Center. And Anne-Marie Gilbert gonna go to her bench here in the final minute and 30 seconds. Using every bit of that shot clock. It's at 10 now. And Slagle and Collins again.
Some ice baths going to be taken by both these teams. We've had a physical contest here, and right in the shoulder.
At times, those two have looked like they're out on a football field somewhere. There's a lot of shoulders that have been banged around between Slagle and Aisha Collins. She'll put that one up short.
And even as the game's winding down, I think speaks to the magnitude of the game. Not that one game means more than the other, but what we've talked about with the East meeting the West and who's going to fight for number 1, and still under about 1:30 to go. The game pretty much decided here, yet both teams are still banging it out.
Yeah, Raven Nelson, the freshman from Chicago, comes in, but the bigger move was Tavalyn James went to the bench, and Anne-Marie Gilbert's, I think, pretty much said that this is enough. BG's going to win this one here this afternoon. I'm going to keep my star player on the bench who's had some problems. She rolled her ankle a couple of weeks ago before we saw her. She's 100% healthy, as Jackie said, but you know what? When you get a chance to rest her, she logs a lot of minutes, number 3 in the league in minutes played. You want to give her a blow, and same with Alexis Rogers.
Take a breather, and I mean, I think we'd be remiss to say, I mean, these two teams very well could see each other again.
That's a nice looking shot there. Jasmine Matthews.
I'll tell you, she does not look like a freshman. I mean, she is, as you talked about, thrown into the starting lineup, which is kind of uncustomary for the Bowling Green program, but she did a nice job of locking in on James and
she really did,
forcing her to create. And I know James is walking away with 29 or 30, but she earned every point she put up here this afternoon.
Yeah, she really did. And the 2 players that we talked about in the open really came to play here this afternoon. It just, down the stretch, Eastern had some problems when they did get stops, kind of closing, and Aisha Collins in the mix there again. Jess Slagle, just get a smile on her face. Getting used to that now, as that's number 5 on Danielle Havel. Havel got into foul trouble early in the first half. Noelle Yoder's gonna check back in. Chrissy Steffen is done for the day with 21 seconds left to go. Logan Pastor gonna come in, and Jess Slagle will be done for the day. And Kurt Miller's squad about to go to 16-3 on the year. And Jasmine Matthews, what a day for the freshman. And there's a look at the most win by MAC coaches. Very good friend of yours, Jack, at the top, and deservedly so. One of the best coaches in the history of the MAC. Bob Lindsay going through some rough times at Kent this year. Kent was up in today's game at home when we last saw it.
Yeah, picked up a win the other day as well. They're a young team, but a team I think that's starting to play well, and we're going to have a chance to see later on our journey through MAC play as well. But
a couple of weeks we'll be at Kent.
Yeah, some.
Get a look at Tamsin Barrelet from France. who has been leading the way for Coach Lindsay. And that'll do it here from the Stroh Center, as the Falcons of Bowling Green will go to 16-3 on the year. Eastern Michigan, and you see the number 250 thrown up there. Eastern Michigan will go to 12-7, and that 250's for that man right there, Kurt Miller. 250th win of his career, and it was a good one here at home in a rematch of the MAC championship. BG wins it by 16, Jackie.
Yeah, the difference of the game, Bowling Green's ability to make shots. They just started out with that Matthews 3 from the left wing, and they did not look back as they shot over 50% from the floor. And it's hard for Eastern Michigan to get into their rhythm of what they want to do offensively when they're not scoring points and creating turnovers and getting out in transition. And Bowling Green just dominated the basketball game.
Well, Kurt Miller will sleep well tonight. We'll take this timeout, come back to the Stroh Center, 70-54 behind 30 from Alexis Rogers.